What's up, YouTube? Just got off of work, gonna hit you guys with another daily video. So I was born in 1992, and while I was at work today, I was kind of just thinking about my childhood and what it was like growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, and I figured I'd share it with y'all. You can reminisce a little bit with me if you were born around when I was born, grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. And for all you that were born in the early 2000s and missed it, well, this is your chance to live through my eyes a little. So one of the things that comes to mind right away with being born in the 90s was when I was a kid, like real young. One of my favorite shows growing up was Barney. Barney, Power Rangers, growing up watching Winnie the Pooh, Fox and the Hound, The Lion King, all those classics, Sesame Street, Arthur, all the OG shows for kids. Then I guess like when I started to get a little older, 5, 6, 7 years old, I remember I had a best friend. His name was Tyler. I used to go outside every day. We'd play with sticks. We'd play tag. I knew all the neighborhood kids. Even when I was real young, I had a bunch of friends that I would go out and play tag with. I remember we would play, like, a big thing back then was Super Soakers. Like, y'all remember the Super Soaker 2000? I remember it was this big-ass cannon. My brother still has one. At one point, I had the Super Soaker 3000. That bitch had a backpack. Like, bro, that thing was so strong, it could hurt you. Like, I remember barely being able to hold it up and shoot people with it, and it would hurt. Like, that thing was so strong. But I remember in elementary school when Yu-Gi-Oh was popping off, Pokemon was popping off. We were all carrying around Charizards and Pokemon cards and flexing our cards. I remember I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh. The good old days. I remember when everybody had Game Boys, Game Boy Color, the regular Game Boy where it was just black and white. The good old days. That was the good times. I remember as a kid, like in elementary school, we would literally just throw tennis balls off the wall. We call it like wall ball or something. I don't even remember. But we played, like, we used our imaginations. I remember having a mongoose bicycle was like the coolest thing. Like, just going out, playing with the wiffle ball, and we just got out and lived. Like, my whole early childhood, all we did was play tag, get into crazy shenanigans, throwing shit at cars, snowball fights. It was a good childhood, to be honest. I kind of feel bad for Gen Z now. Kids nowadays are more glued to they have phones, they're inside, playing Fortnite and buried away on computers, and, like I feel like my generation got to live. Like, my first cell phone was when I was 16. Like, I remember dial-up. That shit. Not having to, like, you couldn't pick up the phone when you were trying to use the internet, or else it would just kick you off. Like, I remember, bro, what about all the toys we had as a kid? For me as a kid, growing up in the 90s. Like, I remember Furbies, Beanie Babies. Like, bro, the Furbies, I swear to God, those things were, like, demonic. I don't know what it was. Like, I remember they would, like, talk on their own. You'd, like, wake up in the middle of the night, they just start talking and saying some out-of-hand shit. Like, I swear to God, like, sometimes I would hear Furbies saying stuff that, like, just out of thin air. Like, I remember, because I'm the oldest brother. I had a younger brother who's 7 years younger than me and a sister who was 3 years younger than me. And I remember if we wanted to keep my little brother out of a room, we would just put a Furby in the doorway and he would not go near it. But yeah, I remember playing with Legos, Bionicles. Y'all remember those? Bionicles was the shit. I used to love collecting those. Beyblades, spin them bitches, throw them on the damn thing and have them fight. Shoot. Yeah, we had so many fun things. What about the video games? Like growing up with Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. I remember Twisted Metal was huge. I used to love playing Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal 1, 2, 3, 4. I remember when Twisted Metal Black came out with the PlayStation 2. Bro, the PlayStation 2, that was like the holy grail of systems. Like, I'll always remember how excited I was to get a PlayStation 2, and I got it for Christmas. My grandfather gave it to me. And the first game I got was Twisted Metal Black. And dude, that game was so fun. And it was kind of messed up, to be honest with you. As a kid, it was kind of, bro, that game was dark. Hella gore, hella violent. It was such a good game. Like, and I felt like video games back then had more character. Like, you bought them and they were yours, and you would try to beat the game. Like, you didn't have to buy every DLC or you know, skin, all that bullshit. Like, you owned your games. It was like an experience. And then, of course, you know, we grew up on Blockbuster nights. Bro, that was another cool experience nobody's gonna have. You know, our future generations are never gonna understand that. Like, going to pick movies. Or I remember when you go to the Blockbuster, like, not only was there all different movies, but like you could pick video games to rent too. That was super cool. Yeah, it was just another time, man. It was such a, I feel like it was better, honestly, in so many different ways. Like, people were way more social. Like I remember all, like, my whole neighborhood, like, knew each other. Like nowadays, I don't even know any of my neighbors. Like, I have like one neighbor. I just moved into a townhouse like a little less than a year ago, and I don't know anybody, dude. Like, most of the people, I'll say hi to them, or my neighbors, they won't even say nothing to me. Like, my direct neighbor, I say hi to him, he doesn't even respond. Like, bro, in the 90s, like, my whole neighborhood, I lived on like a circle, and we all knew each other. We had like family, like, we had like barbecues and like get-togethers. Like, my dad used to ride his motorcycle with a bunch of people, dudes in the neighborhood. Like, all of us kids knew each other. We'd all go out and play football together, tag. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I remember I was always told, like, growing up, like, make sure you just come home when the street lights are on. And nowadays, bro, like, it's so much different. Like, it's just crazy to think about, like, what life used to be like. Shoot, how about going to school? Like, I remember using calculators and shit, and the teachers being like, oh, you're gonna need you can't use a calculator when you get older. And, or like, bro, like, the food was even better. How about cartoon? How about Saturday night cartoons in the morning? Because I remember, I never had cable growing up as a kid, but I remember on, like, I think it was WB. It was WB. I think it was Fox. Yeah, WB. And they had all the cartoons going. Like, bro, and just waking up, eating some cereal, like, eating a bunch of candy, watching cartoons. That was always fire, dude. I remember Digimon. Pokemon was huge. Bro, I remember growing up to Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues was fire. Like, Teletubbies. Bro, the goddamn Teletubbies. It's just like, man, so many good memories. Like, I remember just being so happy to go out into the woods with my friends and make forts. Like, we'd literally bring like saws and hammers and stuff. And I remember me and my best friend, we made like, bro, we had like a mansion in the woods. We had like 10 different rooms. We were building, like, we were out there like construction. I remember like a whole mansion, dude. It was crazy. That's like how much we had, like, bro, we were just out all the time playing basketball, football, like everything. Like, just, bro, all we did was go and play sports, get into shenanigans. Like, I remember one time when I was real young, me and my friends, we went around all the neighborhoods' backyards and turned on their hoses. Turned on their water because we wanted to turn our neighborhood into like a water park. And what we did was, because my circle was on a hill, and we had so much goddamn water going down the damn hill and down the street. Like, bro, we flooded so many neighborhoods. We flooded like it was like two dudes' yards, and like my parents had like the whole neighborhood just come to our house just mad as fuck that we turned on all their water. But like, bro, we just had so much fun, dude. Like, I remember hanging out with my friends like 9, 10, 11 years old, like doing stupid shit like mixing everything in the house from the kitchen into a blender and having my friend drink it, or like you know, just stupid shit, throwing apples at cars. We weren't exactly the best kids. I wasn't exactly an angel growing up, but I remember just throwing eggs at cars, all kinds of stupid shit. Just, bro, like we'd go to like the woods and start fires. Like we were just always out. You know, we weren't just home playing. Like, we would play like PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64. We play Smash Brothers. You know, we would play some games on, you know, like Twisted Metal, or yeah, like we played a bunch of games every once in a while. But like, we would mostly be outside, and kids are not gonna experience that, you know. And I feel like it's going to make it so a lot of kids don't have the same life experiences, or they're not going to have the same life experience that we had, the millennials, the Gen X. Like, and I feel like that's a big problem too. Not only that, but I feel like my generation got disciplined better. Like, if you were talking out of hand or being disrespectful to your parents, you get spanked. You get that ass beat. Like, you get the belt. I didn't get the belt, thankfully. I got spanked and shit. But like, you know, like, kids got disciplined. Now, you're not even allowed to put your hands on your kid. And obviously, like, there's a degree, like, to where I think, like, it's just complete abuse. But, like, we grew up to show adults respect, you know. We got, like, parents nowadays just aren't, like, allowed to discipline their kids as much. And parenting is completely changed for sure. And you can see it, like, I feel like you can see it in a society now, in America now. That's why there's so many crazy people, so many just kids running around shooting, you know. I don't know, man. The future generations, Gen Z and everything, are just, they're all discombobulated. They didn't experience, like, regular life, in my opinion, you know? Like, my generation, I'm so grateful I grew up as a millennial. And, yeah, I think I'm starting to run out of train of thought, or run out of things to say, but I hope y'all appreciate that I make my videos off the top of my head. I don't come out with a script, you know. All my videos are pretty authentic, just comes straight from my mind. But yeah, if you guys liked the video, like and subscribe, and maybe leave some memories of the 90s or 2000s that you really enjoyed. Some of the things, you know, good times you had. Leave your thoughts in the comments. So yeah, I think that's it. Hope y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. Peace.